familiar with Larry. He's an amazing man. He's worked with Jeff Olson for many years. He's been in the industry for 15 years, and he is well known for his training, so you're in for a real treat. He does an amazing job. He's a 2-star national marketing director from LA. Great man. You should meet him afterwards and get to know him a little bit. So help me give a warm welcome to Larry Zimberg.
How you guys doing? Wow, that's loud. You probably don't even need to mic me, but that's good. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Somebody said it's like snowing out. Everybody's like, ooh, the weather. It's weather, right? We'll talk about that. But thank you for having me in sunny, where are we, Kansas City? Miami? Yeah. Where's the beach? They told me there'd be a beach. That's okay. I have my, I've been to Bass Pro and a late night Freddy's burger, so I'm good. I hear that's the thing. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Can you take me down just a little? Thank you. I want to thank you guys for coming out in this weather. How many people you think who have a job are going to go to their job in this weather? Think everybody? There's a clue. So you guys that are here, congratulations for treating your business like a business. Nobody's getting off the hook with me today. So before I get started, I've had an interesting trip, as Mindy can tell you. My bag didn't make it, so I've been in these clothes since 7 a.m. yesterday. I flew in my comfy clothes, and guess I'm staying in my comfy clothes. I'll be throwing something over there in a minute. Made a late night trip to Target for some travel size stuff. So,
no razor blades over.
No, this is intentional.
Oh, okay. Can't see here.
This is how we do now. So yeah, so you get me as I am. I hope it's cool with you guys. But I did take a shower, so you can come up and talk to me. Thank you for clapping for that. Thank you for no rim shot. Use Nerium less? Well, I'm going to use Nerium less because it didn't make the flight. That's the only reason. Why? By the way, if anybody has anything to say, just keep. Feel free. So, but we're going to have fun here today. I appreciate you being here, and I'm going to skip. Well, I'll just tell you quickly. I got in this business about 15 years ago. At the ripe old age of 40. Well, 16, so if you can add, then you know how old I am. Thank you. You want to stand up here with me? Okay, we'll get you the mic. And we can have fun, right? You right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you from the gallery. And I'm a guy, I didn't graduate high school. I'm not saying that there's anybody in here in school. Stay in school. It's good for you, I've heard. But for me, my life was always about music. I knew what I wanted to do as a young child. I knew it when I was a baby. Everything for me was about music. I started creating a top 10 list. I spent all my allowance, everything. And all I wanted was the new Beatles single, the new, Martha the Vandellas, Motown collection. I mean, I got chills, listening to some tunes when I was a baby. I just knew what I wanted to do was in my soul, was in the fibers of my soul. And I pursued that dream. But I got to be, I made a living at it for a while. I got to be about 40 and the rock and roll dream died. And it was like, now what? Because I didn't have a resume that would have got me a job at Sonic, So, did some things. I'm not going to take you through it. Because that's the whole 4 hours. And someone introduced me to this business. I was head of training and nutrition at the Sports Medicine Institute in LA at the time, in one of my other careers. And a gentleman came in and showed me some nutritional product that they had gotten an endorsement from the Olympic Committee. And I thought, wow, it sounded good, right? So I got started doing that. But the guy that signed me up, his name was Dave. And he wouldn't stop bugging me. He was kind of icky. I called him Icky Dave. And he really drove me out of the business. What ended up happening was, after leaving that company for maybe 6 months or whatever, someone else approached me who was a good friend of mine. He was making 6 figures, working from home, great guy, smart guy, really caring friend, living the life. And I just thought, wow, this is what I like, because I wanted freedom. For me, it was all about freedom. I wanted to come and go as I pleased, not have to ask 3 weeks in advance for a day off, or be told you could only be sick 4 days a year. I don't know what that thing is. Somebody still has to explain that to me. Only be sick a few days a year. And so I got started, and I got sponsored by some great people. I really learned the values in this industry. I really learned what it was all about, which is about personal growth. It's about you growing as a human being. It's about you getting better. And that's what we really focused on. And I just gravitated towards it. I didn't, set the world on fire. I was working, in another capacity. It took me about 14 months of just chipping away at it, the slight edge, just doing the little things consistently over time. And in 14 months, my part-time income surpassed my full-time, and I threw the switch. I had my freedom, and I haven't had to look back since. So that's how it kind of happened for me. And I'm a big proponent of this industry. I'm going to talk to you about that today, because if you get that part, we're very lucky to be with the #1 company in the industry right now. We're Apple right now. I mean, what happens with a company like ours is it comes along every 10, 15 years. Bless you. Just like in corporate America, it's the same thing in corporate America. It's not every day that a Google, a Starbucks, a Walmart comes along, right? It's just every so often, the right mix, the right people, the right product, the right branding, the right management, the right marketing, the right strategy, the right business plan comes along, and you have that winner. And Nerium is that winner. So it's happening for people a lot faster here. But what I hope to impress upon you before we get into the how-tos of Nerium are the attributes of this industry, why you've made such a smart decision to get involved. So going through this presentation today, you see, one of the things that this business, in particular this company, has to offer is a culture. And you hear it all the time, you're the combination of the 5 people you hang around with most, environment's everything. This company is doing things the right way with regard to the culture, with regard to the philosophy. You'd expect nothing less from Jeff Olson, the author of The Slide Edge. But the culture that you're in right now is, you got to feel lucky that you're with people that get it, because not everybody does. You know, you go to a lot of other companies or listen to a lot of other people or see what a lot of other folks are offering. There's some great companies out there, but there's also some things you leave, you just want to go home and take a shower. You know what I mean? Like I did this week. So, the core values that are in the back office are something I recommend you read. It's really, again, important to know because it's all about your belief. You know, if you believe in the product, if you believe in the company, if you believe in the people, that's all a sale is a transfer of your belief. That's all it is. So the higher your belief, the more likely it is that you're going to go out and do the activity. The more you do the activity, the more results you're going to get. When you get results, it feeds back into your belief system. So number one is belief, because that's the foundation you'll stand on. If you don't believe, you're not going to go out and share what we have to share. But what I want to get to is talking to you about the industry. And if you get this part, again, if you get this part, the rest of it should be easy for you. One thing I learned is that I was going to have to work anyway. Any of you in that boat? You've heard the sayings, you know, you can either, if you don't build your dream, somebody else will just hire you to build theirs. Everywhere there's a business, someone had courage. You realize that, right? Everywhere there's a business, this hotel, the place across the street, the cafe, the clothing store, the cigar shop, whatever it is, somebody went out of their comfort zone and took a chance. They wanted something different, so they had to do something different. All these cliches are out there, you've heard them, but they've been out there a long time because they're prophetic, they're truth. So everywhere there's a business, someone risks something. And there's a reason for that. I mean, wealthy people don't teach their kids to become employees. They teach them to become employers. Like Bill Gates isn't teaching his kid to go out and get a good job and work at Office Depot, and if you're lucky, they'll hire you at Office Max, and if you're really great, you get bumped up to TJ Maxx, because that's the way to go. You guys have any of those stores here that I just fall flat on? I mean, do you think that that's what they're learning? And I think school is great, but school really teaches you how to become an employee for the most part. And what this business allows you to do is build leverage. If you're taking notes, write this down. Leverage is the favorite word of the wealthy. Leverage is what we all hope to build. Build because we all want to keep earning. We all want to keep earning income. Right? But at some point, we don't want to have to keep working for that income. In other words, we want to stop working, but we don't want the income to stop. Would you guys agree with that? Well, that's why people go into business. Leverage other people's time, other people's money, investments, businesses. So the whole idea of this industry that I found to be brilliant was I could build that leverage without, for $1,000 or less, there's no ceiling. Any of you ever owned a business, you know what it's like. You have to lay out a lot of money. You've got loans. Your life is on the line. You've got employees and workers' comp and liability and all these things to deal with. And here, it's just you. It's all up to you. And I never saw the point of putting the same amount of effort into a job to make somebody else's life better when I could work half that hard for myself and do that same thing for myself in a fraction of the time. And if you do the right thing here with Nerium, especially because we're Apple right now, I mean, you've got a chance. Look, you've all heard of Amway and Herbalife and Nu Skin and Mary Kay, and whether you would have wanted to represent those products or services is another thing. But if you had gotten on board when they were just a couple years old and just chipped away at it, you would have been D-O-N-E done in 3 to 5 years, and you'd have out your own island 20 years ago. for this much of the effort that you're willing to devote your life to a job. And a job's honorable, there's nothing wrong with that, but if you want something else, you have to do something else. And this industry gives you that opportunity. I mean, it lays it out there for you. And there's never been an opportunity, not in the last 20 years, like there is with this company right now. If I asked you all, it's a dumb question, but if I had told you all, hey, you can put $10,000 into this account over here, and at the end of a year, you can get back $500, which is 5%, it's pretty good, 5%. Or you can put that same $10,000 into this account over here for that same period of time and get back $5,000. I mean, is it really a choice? It's a no-brainer. It's the same money. Where you invest your money is important. Where you invest your time is even more important. Because it's time that will earn you that money. Where are you putting your time? No one will teach you that you should be the only one contributing to your own income with the only 24 hours you have in a day. With everything else you have to do, you have to build leverage. This industry allows you to do that. It gives you the opportunity. I have 7,000 people contributing to my income right now. If I go away for a while, my bank account will still grow. You guys have bosses, presidents, CEOs? Do they punch a time clock? Yes or no? No. Do they get paid? Are they doing everything at every position in the company? No, they've hired people to do that. They buy you at wholesale and sell you at retail so they can create something called profits. They work for profits, not wages. What I'm trying to tell you guys, and you're all staring at me, who is this guy? What I'm trying to tell you guys is the only difference between rich people and poor people, or people that don't have what the rich have, is how you spend your time. And you've got the exact same opportunity in this country that everybody else does. And I want you to think about that. Because that's the important thing for each and every one of you. Now, you can create leverage income with Nerium just with the small time that you have. Like it took me 14 months of a company that was much, much more difficult to market what they have, didn't have anything close to what we have. Here it's happening for people faster. It's not about time. Okay, people say, oh, I don't have the time. It's never the time, but the will that's lacking. Because you'll make time for important things. Okay, always. But look what you can do with cracks in time, because this business is built for busy people. It's a part-time business. 95% of everybody who comes on board has a story. Okay, everybody's busy. Don't mean to sound accusatory, but challenges aren't special gifts reserved for any one of you. We all have them. Whatever it is. Okay? The question is, what are you going to do about it? And if you can just sacrifice a little bit of time and be consistent with the right activities over time, you can have what you want. And the thing I hope you get out of this is you want to build leverage. What if something happens? What if you need to be ill more than 3 days? You want leverage. Your boss gets paid whether or not they're there. And that's what you want to set up for yourself and for your family. So if you look at this chart, creating leveraged income. Let's say you've got 5 hours to invest a week. As little as 5 hours. Okay, it's just you. But then you find 5 people and they have 5 hours. Now you're getting paid not just on your 5 hours, but on 25 hours. Isn't that what the owner of your company is doing? Yes or yes? Yes. I know it's snowing out, but come on. Let's say those people go out and come find 5. Now you're getting paid on 125 hours, but how much are you putting in? Your boss only shows up for work the hours that they do, but they're getting paid on the whole of the company. Right? Well, that privilege isn't reserved for just that person. It's available to each and every one of you. Where are you putting your time? Where do you want to end up in the months and the years to come? Is it a good investment for you? Now you're getting paid 155 hours a week because you started to create leverage. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. You didn't join this company for what will happen in the first 3 months. You joined this company for what's going to happen in 3 years. You know, I'm so tired of people saying, oh, you know, they joined the company for 3 weeks, their Ferrari didn't show up, so they quit. Well, what do you do right now? How long did it take you to earn income? What did you have to do to prepare for that? What did you have to go through to earn what you're earning right now? How come that's okay? But it's not okay here. It takes 3 to 5 years to build any business. Why would this be different? So if we look at the next chart, are there any business owners in here? Anybody that ever actually put out money, started a business, other than network marketing, relationship marketing, direct sales, MLM, whatever you want to call it? Anyone? Okay. I did too. I had a nightclub in New York City. And in LA. Whole other story. We'll have coffee, we'll talk. So, did you not have to make an investment up front? Didn't you take as little money out of that business as you could survive on to get that business going? Yeah, and that was okay, and you understood that? That's how business works. In the beginning, you put out a lot of money, you make very little. Right?
Yes.
Big investment, barely taking anything out. That's how business works. Year one, this is what it looks like in a traditional business. Year two, hopefully, you're building something that's successful. You've got a good model. You're making a little more money. You're hiring employees. You're growing. You're spending a little less time. You're building leverage. Third year, right? Starts to move in your direction, God willing. Next year, year 5, you're spending a little time making more money. Isn't that how traditional business works? Yes. Yet people come here and they treat it differently. And I understand why they treat it differently. Because, let's face it, $500,000, there's no accountability. You don't have a $50,000 loan out where you're going to stick by it no matter what. Right? It's $500. And you've all spent $500 on a night you don't remember. So if it does, was I there? Probably. You didn't see me in the closet? So really, I mean, as much of a bite of that is out of some people's budgets, you're going to survive that. You're going to get over that somehow. So that's why people don't accountable. They're not accountable. You're not going to get fired if you don't show up. Your life isn't over. But you wouldn't turn your back on that big investment in your business. Yet that big investment in your business can't possibly give you the freedom and the leverage that this can. So I didn't look at this as a curse, as most people find it. I found it to be a blessing. And I treated my business like a business and realized how lucky I was. Now, let's look at this example, which I love. I am so grateful that they did this, because early on, we actually took a snapshot of a brand partner's business center. This was somebody's back office. And this is the earning chart over time of 1 year of someone who went to 6 figures. And isn't that interesting? Because that's how it happens. If you look at the first month, they made $222. If they had invested $1,000 or $500, what do you think that person's thinking? Oh, this doesn't work. Seriously, right? And you maybe even have that thought yourself if you're new to this industry and don't realize the value of it and how it works. But it's the same example of what we just showed you happens in a traditional business. You put out a lot of money, you're getting nothing out of that business early on, maybe even for a year or two. So you invested $1,000, you got back $222. Most people would look at that as a failure. It's not a failure. Anybody show up the first day of college and graduate? Second month, 510. Not even earning what you put out. Stupid network marketing. 766, 869, 1270. You're putting in all this, and then all of a sudden, leverage kicks in. We call it the hockey stick in business. You guys have heard of that. Some of you, maybe. Month 12, over 10 grand a month. And really, that's how it happens. The problem is most people don't stick around. I love telling people the truth because I think, we're all adults and we can handle the truth. And the more truth we get, the more our expectations line up with what we're really going to find out there. Because 70% of people traditionally in this industry that sign up never even show up. What's that got to do with you? How many people start college, don't finish? How many people get married, get divorced? Does that mean you don't live, you don't try, you don't do? You don't think everybody picked up an instrument? All my buddies wanted to play guitar, play an instrument, be a rock and roll hero when I was growing up. They put down their stuff. That's got nothing to do with what I wanted. I just kept going. It's got nothing to do with you. What I want you to take away from this is be smart with your time. If you had grown up in a different environment, different household, listening to different people, you were around entrepreneurs, bankers, financiers, business people, you wouldn't be busting your butt to find a better job and a better job and a better job. You'd be spending your time in a whole different way, I promise you. So you have a choice here, people. Realize that. And realize you got to treat this business like any business. Okay, promise?
Promise.
Just trying to save you. Let's talk about building your Nerium business and your brand partner objectives. Are there any new people in this room? Let's hear it for them. Lock the doors. So for each of us and for all the people we bring in, there's 2 objectives. There's not 10. This is very important for you guys to realize that you want to do the first things first and the second things not at all. Don't major in the minor. Don't let the things that matter least take priority over the things that matter most. You got to stay focused on where your time is best spent with the little time you have while you're doing everything else that life is going to put in front of you. Job, family, problems. Everybody's got problems. And focus in on what the goal is. And it's 2 things for new brand partners. It's not 10, it's 2. Qualify so you get your product free. Okay, really important. Everybody's fast start, get your 3 brand partners. That's obviously important. Not minimizing that at all. That is the priority. But to me, it's always been a priority to help people get their product free as well. Because when you eliminate that credit card charge for people, their business is essentially free. And people don't quit free. And you need people to hang around so they start to get the culture here and learn. Before their friend says, "Oh, you're stupid for doing that thing." And they go, "Oh, okay." Run out of here. 2 brand partner objectives. Now, how we accomplish those objectives, bless you, everything starts with your why. And you guys have heard this term over and over and over again. I'll tell you why I think it's so important. Because nothing will happen if you don't totally desire it with every fiber of your soul. It's just not going to happen. If being successful were easy, everybody would be successful. The road to success is paved with failure. You're going to have to fail your way there. Y'all know that. There's going to be a bunch of obstacles out there on your way to success, but whether you see those obstacles as stumbling blocks or stepping stones will depend on how badly you want what's on you'll run through any wall for it if you want it badly. We have the plan. Look, guys, we all deal with the same thing here. The product's the same for each of us, the marketing plan, the back office, the compensation plan. There's not a picture down at corporate headquarters of any one of you that says, don't pay this person. The only variable is you. It's the only variable. It's you. And the only foundation that you have to pour here, that you have to build that house on, anything you do, everything starts with your why. It's all about desire. You realize that, don't you? I mean, you got to know that. The people that want something bad enough, like I did, to be able to play for a living, will keep going to auditions and keep going, knocking on doors after you've been turned down over and over and over again. And it's just, that's the way it is on the road to success. That why is that thing that will keep you going. This is the most important thing. Don't overlook it. Ever. Especially when you're with a new brand partner. It's the first thing I do is sit down and get them talking. Get them to start believing. Because we become adults and we get in this box. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller of us having responsibilities. We forget to dream. We don't think it's possible anymore because we're saddled with so much. When we were kids, everything was possible. We could be anything. And then life starts, taking you down a little bit, saddling you with responsibilities. It's sad because those possibilities are still there for you. They don't end because you age. In fact, it should be easier for you as you become wiser. But we forget what that's even like. So when I sit down with somebody, I'm sitting down with Amy, I'm talking to her, we're going through her why, I'm sharing with her my why. We do this. Because if she doesn't believe, nothing's gonna happen. The first rejection she gets, that phone's going to weigh 3,000 pounds. She's not going to want to pick it up again. Because there's a lot of people out there that want to rain on your parade because they don't have a parade of their own. And the sad fact is, most people won't participate in their own rescue. So you got to sit down and flush that out with people. So important. So, here's something I love to do at trainings. I've been doing it a long time, and I think it's the best part. We can do this very quickly, because we're all adults. Like how I plant that seed? I'm going to ask each of you to find a partner in front, aside, and back. I'd like you to pick a partner. And I want that to be somebody you didn't come here with, didn't marry, aren't dating, you've known for 30 years. Meet somebody new, turn around, let's get this done quickly, don't do anything yet. Just, I'd love you to partner up. Go ahead and partner up.